I'll just get ready to leave for our very first NHS IVF appointment. This is a face-to-face appointment, so I've had the call with the nurse and they sent me these letters to go in face-to-face. My understanding is we're seeing the consultant today who's part of the NHS Fertility clinic, but I also know he's part of our private clinic, so I do already know of him, which is great. I think today we are going to have to go through some paperwork. They said James has to come, and that's to sign off funding. I think they'll also weigh me to check that I'm within the BMI criteria, and outside of that I have no idea what to expect. So I will take you with us for as much as I can. Mixed emotions, I would say, just because this is sort of the start now of the IVF journey, which is exciting, terrifying, nervous, like all of the above. But yeah, I'll take you with us for what I can, and I will answer any questions that I can later and let you know what happens as we go. A little bit of warning for you, which I already pre-know this, so I'm sort of mentally prepared, but our fertility clinic is in the maternity unit, so obviously that could be quite a lot for some people. I don't know if that's the case everywhere in every hospital, but I'd imagine quite typically they are one and the same because it's the gynecology unit. So just something to like be aware of and be prepared for, because it's hard going to these appointments, and it's probably then even harder that you might be sat next to pregnant people. So that is our IVF appointment done with the NHS side of it. I have some exciting stuff in here, and James has just popped into the shop so that we can get some lunch, and I will update you when we get back home with like everything that I know at this point, where we're at and what the future plans are. So yeah, we'll see you there. Okay, we're back home from our fertility appointment with the NHS and the fertility clinic there, and I don't know why I felt so nervous. Like, there was nothing to be nervous about. So a couple of things, and this will differ because I know friends that have had IVF that have said that they did have to have their weight done and CO2 tests, etc, etc. We didn't have any of that. So we got there, checked in. The consultant that we saw is actually the consultant that's also part of our private fertility clinic, so he sort of knew a bit of my background, and he's the consultant we spoke to in December when our IUI failed. So we just sort of reiterated what's been going on, where we're at, and he said, okay, do you meet the criteria? Sort of tick box exercise. He didn't weigh me, he didn't do any like extra tests. He sort of checked what supplements I'm taking, that I'm doing all the right things, and he said, yeah, that's fine. So he said funding is signed off from today, which is great. You have 6 months to use the funding. What that means is 6 months to start treatment. So I don't think you have 6 months to like have finished everything, but you have to start within those 6 months. So that gives us until, where are we now? May, June, July, August, September, October, November time to have started, which is perfect because we go to Disney in June, which we did tell him, and I think he was a bit sort of frustrated is probably the right word, that we actually even have to wait until after June and declare the Zika thing, because he was like, it's such low risk, like it's minimal, but because it is listed on the website, technically we have to wait until we're back from that and have those blood tests. So we're looking at about a July-August start, and you know, it is really hard. It is an emotional conversation topic to have. Obviously I had a lot of questions, so one of those was around what does one cycle actually mean for me? That's what we get in Berkshire. And as I thought, that means regardless of if anything goes wrong wherever you are in that cycle, that's it, game over, you don't get to carry on. So if I was to have medication and not produce enough eggs, done, cycle over, funding gone, back to the drawing board. But we're not going to think about that, we're being positive. So I know that that's the outcome. He did say in my situation, it's about a 15% chance. Oh, sorry, I've got hiccups. Yeah, he did say in my situation, it's about a 15% sort of like chance of it working. But 15% is 15%. So that's what we have to look at, and we have to just try everything. And we're at the point now where we need to try IVF. So that's what we're going to do. what else is there to say? Oh, yes. So one thing we did, sort of, I asked and reiterated, was he told me back in December that up to the point of starting IVF, we could try letrozole if we wanted to. Now, I didn't respond to letrozole back in November, but that doesn't mean I won't in the future. But when I had the consultation with the nurse, she said to me, you can't take letrozole, or we wouldn't necessarily advise it, because if you take letrozole, get pregnant and have a miscarriage, you have to start your 2 years for IVF funding all over again. So I asked our consultant today if that was true, and basically it's down to like wording and semantics. When you read the wording on the IVF funding paperwork, it says has not been naturally pregnant. So he said, as far as I'm concerned, if I give you letrozole and it works, you get pregnant, great, you don't have to have IVF anyway. The caveat to that is, obviously, if the worst was to happen and you get pregnant and were to have a miscarriage, that is not you naturally getting pregnant. I've given you like medication to aid that. So he said, as far as I'm concerned, you are still eligible for your funding if you need it. So, very exciting little delivery here is, yeah, we've got letrozole. Now, I am currently in the midst of a cycle. So he said, obviously I can't start it now because you have to start letrozole on day 2 of your cycle. So what he said to do is, when this cycle finishes, wait like 4 weeks. If I don't get another natural period in that time, then he's also given me, that's letrozole, what's he given me? He's given me Provera, I think, to induce a bleed. So, yeah, take 1 tablet once a day for 7 days. So he's also given me Provera. I've had Provera before, so it doesn't sort of faze me now. This is what they gave me for my IUI, yeah. So this, in theory, should induce a bleed. And then on day 2 of that induced bleed, you start the letrozole. And then you hope for the best, do ovulation tests, try and make a baby. So, yeah, that's where we're at. I think I just wanted to update for anyone else that sort of has their appointments upcoming. Like, I think I was more nervous than I needed to be about it. My weight is fine anyway. It's under the 30 BMI. Sorry, I'm rusting around with that bag. Yeah, it's under 30 BMI anyway. But I think I just thought he was going to weigh me as well. So I wore like really light clothes. I wore this little t-shirt and the like lightest summer trousers I could find, because I was like, well, if he does weigh me, then I've not got any really heavy clothes on. And I took a photo this morning of my weight, so I could be like, look, this is my weight when I'm like butt naked. So yeah, very, very exciting, nervous, all the feelings, obviously, because it's intense, isn't it? IVF is going to get intense. But that's where we're at. And I will continue to share, take you on this journey with us. We've got Disney to get through, and then IVF. So it's going to be a pretty full-on summer. So yes, if you are on this journey, please reach out. That whole idea of me sharing is that I want to reach other people that are going through this, have been through it, or maybe worried that they're going to have to go through it. And I just want to share like the reality and the realistic side of this journey. It's not nice, and it can feel really lonely. And the reality is, like, I have good days and bad days, and I have days where I just have to remind myself to stay positive and keep following the process. And that's what we're doing. So yes, I hope you get to enjoy the sun and I hope you enjoyed the bank holiday weekend, because by the time you see this, it'll probably have been and gone. And yeah, please let me know in the comments if these videos are helping you, if you've been on this journey. Like, just hopefully you can resonate with the way I'm feeling, and yeah, hopefully we can come out the other side and have a baby and know that we did absolutely as much as we could to make it happen.